Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bachelorette recap, season 17 now, episode 2. My name is Ken. This is my BFF Alex and our very special guest tonight, Chantele.
Hi. You might recognize Chantele from her viral video.
6 million views.
Miss Thing over here.
I think they'd recognize Elon Musk, not myself, but I did post one. But I'm so happy to be here and talk about The Bachelorette. I was not expecting this season to be as amazing as it has been. It has not let down. I was kind of like, oh, Katie, I don't really know anything about her. Is she going to be interesting? Like, I don't know if it's going to be a good season. I don't really know enough about her to really like be on board or off board. So I'm like, well, let's just see what happens. And first week, I was like, this is great. Second week, this is great. Previews for the season. Oh my gosh. So I'm in. I'm good. I'm so excited to talk about it.
Oh my God. I will say we had like very low expectations for Katie as the Bachelorette. We were just like, this girl is going to be boring and milquetoast and try and be like, I'm quirky and different, but then it just like fell flat. But they casted like the right guys for it to be just uncomfortable enough.
Yes.
Quite uncomfortable. Quite uncomfortable. It does feel as though she has, like, I can tell who she kind of likes though. So like, I like that that's pretty obvious. But like, I'm on this journey. Let's go see Katie's journey. Like, what is going to happen with this mess? It's a mess.
Yes. It is a mess already. I agree. I was telling Alex earlier that I am not a huge fan of The Bachelorette. I kind of prefer The Bachelor because it has more drama, but this season is not disappointing.
Yeah.
Not at all.
There's a decent amount of chaos, and that's really what we need to thrive on.
Yes.
Yes. Did you guys do a draft at all? Do you guys have teams? Do you have stakes in any of these men?
Verbally? We haven't written it down yet. But
verbally, we have stakes. And our number one fan favorite. Can you guess who you think our fan favorite is?
Wait, for chaos? Is it Carl?
I'm like, oh, you were looking at
chaos. Yes. Yeah.
But
my second guess would be Catman, Connor.
I am logging off.
Excuse me, hairball.
Chantele, I'm logging off.
Don't judge what people like, right? I guess that's a no. So Greg, I guess, Greg?
Ew. Oh, God.
I don't know. Is this for you or for Katie?
My least favorite.
For you or for Katie?
Both.
I think that Katie likes him. Like,
yeah, I think Katie really likes Greg.
I think Katie really likes him. I think he's too young, though.
Yeah, like we think that Katie's going to be here, or not Katie. We think Greg's going to be here long term, but he doesn't seem like the best choice.
Yeah,
like he seems too young.
A little. He does seem a little bit, naive and a little bit like. It hasn't been in a lot of relationships before. Like, I don't know. He seems a little bit in over his head, but they do look good together, in my opinion. Like, I can see them dating. Wait, so who is it?
Trey.
We love Trey.
Oh, I love Trey. Of course. He's the only Aquarius. Come on now. Trey is the best.
Trey loves Trey.
He's so playful, and he seems so kind, and he's really freaking adorable.
I know.
Like, he's got that teddy bear vibe. I love it.
Ken, are you an air sign as well, or a fire sign?
I'm actually a fire sign. I'm an Aries. Yeah.
Okay. So it works. Like, I'm Aquarius. Alex, you're a Gemini, right? Was that right?
That's
no, Leo.
Yep. Yeah. Josh is.
I knew that we all got along. I couldn't remember your sign on.
I couldn't remember what.
Yeah, no, but we are a firm Team Trey household. Based on the editing, I do not think he's going to be here long.
No.
But
well, Yeah, I mean, I hope that he is, just because he's so kind and nice and like cuddly, like you said, and like he's funny. But he is an air sign, and she's an earth sign. I know people are like, roll your eyes when we talk about astrology, but
we are here for it.
Not you guys, but like, you know, people listening potentially. But it makes sense. Like the people that you get along with tend to be the people that you're compatible with your sun signs. So that's just the thing. So yeah, I don't have high hopes for all these Aquarius and Geminis that are kind of getting these roses, you know.
Who's on your draft?
On my draft, okay. I mean, obviously we did it in half. There's only 2 of us doing it, but
then who's your top? When you're like, I'm glad I got this one.
Well, we have some point systems kind of going on as well. So, you know, there's points for drama and some chaos. So I kind of happily have some of these people. So
I hope you have Carl.
Yeah. I have Carl. Yes, I do. I want those points. Because she has the Greg and like the Mike, you know, the Christian or the
we love Mike
Christian guy.
Yeah, we love Mike in this house.
Yeah, and my favorite, and this is going to be controversial, I'm sure, but I just find him so good looking. I'm so into Thomas. He reminds me of Josh Murray, and
I love Thomas.
Josh Murray is kind of toxic as well, but he's so hot. So I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I'm into him.
I think Thomas has the potential to be a very nice man. I was saying earlier, I think he's kind of flying under the radar.
Yeah, totally.
Did you see the preview for next episode?
No, we were talking.
No, we talked through it.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
We talked through it.
We're pretty bad at that.
I know.
Well, when you watch it back, then you might say something different.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it bad or is it good?
Yeah,
well, I mean, it's good for my draft, but
okay, so we're creating a draft. As soon as we're done, and don't put Thomas on it.
Well, you might get some points. It depends on if you're just drafting for Katie or you're drafting for like to get some points in there, you know. I am a little bit disappointed though. It was a very good episode, I found, but it was to be continued, or like the drama continues next week. Like, I don't like that. I sat here for 2 hours. Like, give me an ending. Give me a damn rose ceremony. I hate when this show starts with a rose ceremony. I hate it.
What have I been saying since we started watching The Bachelor together like 3 years ago?
That it needs to be back to the old way where it was the same structure every time, where you had date, rose, no matter what.
No matter what, you always ended in a rose ceremony. Always.
Rain or shine.
I don't understand though, because like, you know, we all know about storytelling and like creating drama, and it's like like our brains crave the structure. We want to see the structure. Like, that's what makes us engage. That's what draws us in. Like, it doesn't make me want to watch anymore with the rose series starting at the beginning. Like, I know that people are going to be eliminated, so who cares? Like, let me see it happen now, because it just takes it out of like the whole buildup of the episode story arc, you know?
Yes, it doesn't make me tune in quicker next week to like see who gets eliminated. Like, no,
I'm gonna watch either way.
It's already there. It's a competition. The anticipation is every episode. You don't need to leave me on a cliffhanger.
It's already
like not a cliffhanger.
I'm more excited to find out who goes home, but when it's like part of the whole episode, I'm like, ooh, like she had a talk with him. Like, by next week, I'll be like, oh, right, like, yeah, they had some. Okay, yeah, that's why he's gone. Like, I just kind of forget about what's happening, and I'm just like, okay, let's start here, and then let's get into the episode. So I don't know why they think that it's captivating and like very engaging. I think it's bad call.
Yeah, bad call. I hate it every time.
Bad writing. Not good. I guess it's good if someone's like going back and like binge watching episodes. Like if we weren't watching it. But who does that with The Bachelor?
Where is that even available?
Yeah, somebody was actually asking me where old seasons were available, and I'm like, I actually don't know.
There are some on Hulu.
You can watch a few, but
I don't think they're in order or anything.
And
there's not like old Bachelor.
No.
I
don't know. It just seems weird. Like, why would you want to watch The Bachelor?
I wouldn't want to binge it. It's a weekly thing.
Yeah.
Would there be a season that would be binge worthy?
Exactly
I mean, maybe just to know some of like the history of like some of the characters, like maybe going to Jake Pavelka's season where you get like
that was one of the last ones I watched. I think that was one of the last ones that I actually watched with my mom was Jake Pavelka.
so maybe.
Hi, Lauren.
Yeah, he picked Vienna, and it was horrible. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, girl. Excited to have you on the pod.
Yes,
I see Vivine here too. Hi, Vivine. I haven't seen you in so long. Vivine's good people.
Hi.
Super supportive. Yes, it's real. It's real. It's not a mirage. It's not to be continued.
Your background is a mirage.
Ooh, it is.
Yes, we're so excited to have you on too, Lauren.
Okay, what did you think about the first date?
The first date, this was just like it was a bad memories of Chris Harrison's erotica episode.
Yeah.
Honestly, which by the way, like I know Chris Harrison did really bad things, but like he also didn't send me the book that I paid for. I bought his book and I never got it.
What do you mean you never got it? How did you never get it?
I don't remember what it was called.
The perfect letter.
Yes, the perfect letter. That's what
You'll never receive it. That's why it's perfection. But like, did you say something? Did you get your money back? Like, what happened?
I did.
Yeah. Like, Chris Harrison's out here just extorting you for money.
I wish that we could read. I wish we could read things on YouTube because I would love to do like an open reading of the perfect letter. That would be so good.
That's what we wanted to do.
Yes, that's what
you could do it on Clubhouse. You could do it on Clubhouse, maybe.
You can't do readings on YouTube.
Well, I think it would copyright it, maybe, unless there's like a voice expression.
It's about copyright.
Yeah, it would copyright it.
I'm just
and I feel like Chris Harrison is just petty enough.
So he'd be like,
he's got to get his money somewhere now.
What? He's so rich now. He didn't. There's no punishment in
no,
like
there wasn't.
in 25 to 50 million that he got to keep his mouth shut.
I learned my lesson.
Like, I think that he didn't want to do the work, and that's why he's like, yeah, do you know what? I don't feel like going to woke class. Like, give me some money and I'll be out here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that he wanted to do the work in order that would be required for him to stay as the host. And so he's probably like, yeah, I don't want to do this. Pay me some money.
Yep.
That's what
Very
I think.
that. Much easier to get out that way.
Very that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And people are still so upset. I'm like, he got a lot of money to leave the show.
It's so much better without him.
He'll be okay. And I definitely am enjoying it without him for sure. Especially like even in that perfect letter scene last season, like it was just uncomfortable seeing like Chris is kind of like the dad or like granddad. Like I don't want to be talking about eroticism around him.
No.
So this first date gave me flashbacks to that.
It didn't. It wasn't as cringe as I wanted it to. I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and then it got better. Well, as soon as we walked into that theater with the couches, and we knew the rest of the guys who weren't on the date were going to be there to watch, and they were going to talk about sex in front of Katie. It was like, oh man,
like they're like, oh yeah, you got all of these utensils here, and there was like dildos and whips and chains, and then everyone was just like, here's my acoustic guitar.
Okay, I gotta say, obviously I'm anti the guitar, but the girl Tanya that I'm doing my podcast with, she got him Connor. So I'm like, oh my god, like, because one of the things is if you serenade someone or read a poem to somebody or like do any of those awkward serenades things. So musical instrument falls in there too, and so she's gonna get some points for Connor again. But like his song wasn't as cringe as I thought it was gonna be. Like I was like, this was okay. It was kind of funny. Like, you know, he has a little finger bit at the end with the piano. Like,
I liked the finger bit better than like the girth bit. That was better. I think his opening line was something like, "My love is long, but not as long as the girth." No, it was like it's
but the girth is more important.
Yeah, something about the girth is more important. That was the catchphrase.
I mean, I think that word should be bleeped.
I hate the word girth. I know.
Yeah,
Really gross.
I agree that this date was very on brand for Katie because she is known as Sex Toy Katie in Bachelor Nation for sure.
True, but what is it like? What is her sex positivity? I mean, I don't care either way, but like
that's what I said. I was like, I am here for this. Like, I'm glad that like sex positive is now a hashtag, whatever. But she's not
like,
any more sex positive than anyone else I know. Like, what are we doing?
Like, what does it mean to her? Like, I want to know what her definition of sex positive means.
Right.
Like, does that just mean I'll have sex with someone before marriage? And like, I don't necessarily, I'm going to follow the rules of only have sex in the fantasy suites. Like, what does it actually mean? Like, carrying a dildo doesn't really mean that much to me. It's like,
I know.
You're willing to do it on TV? Is that what sex positive means? Like, I just don't get it. Because I don't feel as though she's more sexual than anybody else has ever been, really.
Yep.
I'm just like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, that's all vanilla, but like she hasn't actually like said anything or like done anything that's actually like, this is why I'm sex positive. She's just like, I like things that other girls don't like.
And here are a bunch of sex toys.
Now, I was kind of questioning whether or not she was a furry because, you know, just like with her like interest in Connor in the beginning. So I was like, oh, that's a little bit more, you know, open-minded in sexual exploration. Whatever. Exploration. But she said she didn't like the pause. So I was like, oh, wait, you don't like the pause? I thought that would be part of like, you know, like the fun of it all. So maybe she's not a furry. So I don't know.
I don't think she's a furry. I think that's too weird for her, which means not very sex positive.
I don't know. I think you can be sex positive and not be a furry. Just hot takes here on the couch between the Realnesss podcast.
Right. What else did I like about that date? Didn't like, but I think I can get points for is Carl's mess. What was that? Like, was he doing a motivational speaking presentation on his little mini whiteboard that he would just toss onto the bed?
With his cardboard cutout, which, by the way, like, did he bring that from home? Was that in his closet with the rest of his Katie fan art?
Did you catch that last week that he had like 1 million pieces of Katie fan art that was like, here's me and Katie together. I had this commissioned and it was like a weird cartoon of like him and Katie together.
And then he had a different one
later in the episode.
I only saw the one where I can't remember his nickname right now, but like I only saw the one and I was like, why is he like getting a cartoon made of them? I'm like, I don't really get that. Like, you should have terrible.
Yes. And I have never seen Katie in that weird like white striped sweater before. So it makes me think it was like an Instagram post and he cut it out. Because it wasn't like a done up outfit.
It wasn't like Bachelor like promo photos.
Yeah.
This is bad. I mean, I think what is going on is that Carl 100% is there for the wrong reasons. And I think that he's trying to do as much as he can to get popularity, whether it's good or bad. He just wants the eyes on him and the attention on him. So it's kind of like how Bennett, like, even though some people didn't like Bennett that much in the end, like, he still was doing these outlandish things so he can have popularity, and there's still going to be people that stand him. So I think that Carl's trying to do this as well because he's not really being likable. And Justin, who's my other sweet angel that like I'm in love with, but he's a Gemini, so he's not going to probably work out with Katie, that he doesn't like Carl at all. And I'm like, good, you have good radar because like Carl does suck. And I'm happy that you've sussed that out, you know, that he's not the best person for Katie's heart.
Good phrasing there.
This comment, I totally get it. Feels like Carl's auditioning to be the lead for The Bachelor.
Yes.
And they have 2 seasons worth of guys. They're no.
He wants to go to Bachelor in Paradise where all he can do is fuck.
Yeah, no, Carl's like, please make me relevant enough to send me to paradise.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Never been on a vacation. This desert isn't very cool.
Please.
He 100%. I don't think that there's any chance that he would be the Bachelor.
No.
There's like zero chance.
Zero.
I agree.
I will eat like raw meat if
Like tartare.
Yeah, like
or
tartare. No, like
that's
no.
good. Yeah.
No, like I will eat like a raw steak if Carl becomes the Bachelor. That is how convinced I am that it's not gonna happen.
I will eat a watermelon rind.
Oh wow! I mean, I don't even know what I'll do. I'll do any whatever the worst thing I could possibly use as a bet. Like I'll bet on that because there's no way. It's a -0 possibility of him becoming the Bachelor.
Yeah.
Not in any century, not in any timeline, not any dimension. Like there's absolutely zero possibilities of him.
I will say that would be the best season ever of The Bachelor.
And
what a timeline!
Probably only get like 4 girls to sign up.
No, but there's so many thirsty girls that are looking for their Instagram fame, like when they want to be on the most controversial Bachelor ever. You know,
when I heard that you were the Bachelor, I signed up immediately.
I mean, I would sign up just because it would be so ridiculous, right?
Now we have to manifest it. We have to manifest Carl as the Bachelor.
I don't know if we have enough. Can we get that to happen? Because he has his own free will, right?
No.
Can we make it happen?
Do any of us? Do we go?
Hmm?
Do any of us?
Do we?
maybe not actually, to be fair. But out of all the people on this season, yeah, I think it's a hard no on the audition for Bachelor.
I would
Bachelor
agree.
Hard pass. No.
Hard pass.
The real star of this date, though. How did you feel about our virgin being on the big sex date?
I mean, obviously he's going to be on the sex date. There's no other date he's going to be on. Like, he has to only be on the ones that's going to push his boundaries sexually and has to talk about it. It was really awkward. But I think that he handled it way better than I expected. I thought it was quite charming, the letter to my future wife, regardless of whether or not he was talking about saving himself for marriage or anything like that. I do think that it was a very considerate way to speak about his faith and how he feels about sharing that with somebody. So I think that he did a really, really good job of not making it super awkward and not making her feel any sort of shame for his decision and making it more special if they were to share that together. So I thought that he did a good job.
Totally.
I think you said that perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we were sitting there watching it, we were like, the only way he is going to come out on top is if he sets her down and says he's a virgin on stage.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way. If he gets up there and tries to do some whip thing or be
I love that.
Sex guy.
Yeah, this is what you want.
No, it was perfect, because I was worried though when he had the question marks for some of the questions that they were asking, which were very kind of just because she's sex positive, that's is she just rude? Why does she need to ask these kind of vulgar questions without even knowing these people's last names? She probably doesn't even know their star signs. You know what I mean?
Essentially, this is their first date.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
With any of them.
What's your favorite position?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, the guy who said wheelbarrow.
Yeah. How could you do that?
Wait, who said reverse cowgirl? I do want to see what all the men said. I know Justin said missionary. Who said reverse cowgirl?
I like that.
I think that was Courtney.
I think it was Courtney, because I said, "Oh, that just means you're real lazy."
Well, with his carrot dick.
Yes. Yeah, I did not. I forgot that. I did not like that he resembled a carrot.
Yes, wheelbarrow.
Resemble.
Wheelbarrow.
like,
Oh
it was so uncomfortable. But
totally.
I okay, I don't know, Bean, if he's not. I do feel when I was talking about Colton back in the day that it always was if something was off. Like there was something like I didn't feel like he had like a sexual vibe towards anybody. I didn't feel as though he was experienced. It was just kind of it was kind of a bit more asexual he was coming across to me. And Mike doesn't really come off as asexual to me.
No,
he does seem like he has interest in Katie. And it's different than Colton from my perspective. And also the girls said that Colton wasn't a good kisser, which really I thought was interesting. And so we haven't really heard about Mike yet, but that will also maybe be indicative of whether or not he's interested in women or not. But I don't feel the same way that I felt about Colton.
I think that makes sense. And I think Mike is interested in Katie. I mean, he did make a joke later in the night during like a one-on-one with them that like he has a lot of pent-up energy, so he feels bad for his future wife.
I do not get queer. I like to think I have a very good handle on being able to tell if people on reality TV shows are religiously repressed or queer or both. And I feel like this guy is literally just religious.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. And I saw this TikTok today, and this doesn't really relate specifically to anybody, but it was this girl going through all their political stances. And so he's also apparently a Republican. So I wonder if that has anything to do with like, his sex positivity or whatnot.
I'm sure it does.
Like how he's
I want to know all of
no, like you know what I mean. Like so, I wonder if like
send me this.
Yes,
yeah, I will. I can send it right now. Actually, I'll find it for you.
Thank you.
I mean,
I would like to know, just out of curiosity. Let me judge them a little bit.
Yeah, I want to know. I mean, maybe I shouldn't look at it because now I'm just going to immediately be like, "Whoa, I hate all these guys."
What if Trey is a Republican?
If Trey is a Republican, I'll eat a raw steak.
I don't think she sent everybody, but
and that's a callback.
Was there anybody else cute on this date that I was like,
oh gosh, that's what I was just trying to think of. I don't.
Everyone else was just kind of bland.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, Thomas got the rose on the date.
Yeah, Thomas got the rose.
She's into him, but it could be that like he's such an attractive man and like for him to be like, not to say that she's not beautiful, but like interested in Katie wouldn't be who I would immediately think was his type. And so maybe she feels that as well. And so the fact that he seems to be putting a lot of energy into her, a lot of eye contact, like a lot of focus and attention. So I'm wondering if she's feeling that and be like, oh my God, like I'm like the high school jock is like so into me. And so I'm not sure if she's blinded by that and there's not really a connection. But I love him getting a rose. I'm into it. Give me that point.
Yes.
I can see it too.
Yes. And Natalie, I agree.
Yeah. Carl is
100%.
Carl is absolutely worse than Cody.
100%. I don't even know how I feel about Cody like going home this episode.
Yeah, I mean,
for a day she will be.
I might if I ate a raw steak, I'd probably want to be a vegan after that.
I mean, I definitely, if we can jump ahead, I guess.
I just spilled the beans. Yeah.
So with like Cody ends up like having that weird confrontation with Aaron, and we like how they kind of interjected that into last week's episode was just quite abrupt, and they didn't really explain where that came from. So I was happy that they resolved that a little bit. But like they resolved it. He didn't really respond well, but like it's also really awkward when someone's like, hey, like so-and-so said this about you and you're on national TV and maybe you really don't know what they said.
Right.
And so the fact that she kind of just got rid of him right away.
Yeah.
Like
that's what I said. Yeah.
I felt it was a little bit premature. I would be more worried about Aaron, who, like, why is Aaron bringing up this information? Like, he might be a shitty person, but like, he might be a good person to me. Like, he might have done something, and it's like, I don't know. I just didn't feel like
he might have dated your girlfriend in the past, but like he's not a shitty person or whatever it was. Or I told Alex that I thought maybe he made like a stupid joke on social media about being on The Bachelor, or now he's gonna get famous, like because he's gonna like meet the love of his life. LOL. But
like nobody, when they're really going on that show, are like, you know what? I know that she's the one for me.
Right?
I'm going on this show with all the right intentions. Like, there's absolutely no, it's not possible. Like, you're going on The Bachelor.
Even The Bachelor or The Bachelorette is either the right intentions.
No,
that doesn't exist.
Never.
No.
Like but you are hoping, you're hopeful that you make a connection because it's such a crazy world, and that's what you want to maybe explore this as a potential way to fall in love and find love. And so, like, I know the right and wrong reasons is a big trope of like Bachelor and Bachelor Nation and Bachelor fans and stuff, but like, I don't really hold it against anybody that goes on the show and says like, hey, like if something good happens to me after it, I will welcome that as well. I think that's just like being normal and being like, hey, let me weigh this out. What's the pros and cons here? Because I'm going on this show, I'm bringing all my own clothes. Like I have to take time off of work. I can't talk about it. I might be able to meet somebody that I might be meant for, but all in reality, you can get absolutely nothing from it. So
yes.
the other side is, okay, maybe I'll get a brand deal. Pardon? Yeah, I fired. Woo.
Yeah. No, I'm like, I would 100% feel like it was just like a weird, because if we remember on Matt's season, Katie was the one who was tattling or telling Matt like, hey, this is what's going on in the house. So I feel like Katie was having like some flashback moments to like being the one who came forward, and so that's why she was more like, oh, well, I'm going to believe the person who's telling me all this stuff, and I'm going to nip it in the bud right now because that's what I wanted to happen on my season. But like, not every situation is going to be black and white or going to be the same.
Yeah.
To be honest, though, I know that people are like, yeah, Katie, like you standing up for the bullies. I actually thought that she was injecting herself in situations that shouldn't need to be involved in. She didn't need to be standing up for people and being like, and so self-righteous and like being like, I know what's right. And like, there was one time where she kind of stood for Sarah and I was like, okay, good.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That was the one. And then after that, I was like, okay, this is kind of enough. Like, I don't need you to be this person. And so that's what they're championing. And that's another reason why I was kind of like, who cares about Katie? Because I didn't really enjoy that side of her, to be honest. Like,
right. Yeah. I think she's jumping to conclusions and she's just letting the first person who tells her, like she's letting that be true. Like I think that if what's his name? Cody would have said the same thing about Aaron would have been gone.
It's whoever got there first.
That's also, it's bad. I mean, I could see her just being like, oh, this will be more dramatic this way because I don't necessarily see a future with Cody. And so she's probably got some like producer like pep talks as being like, well, if you don't see a future with him, like, maybe you should let him go now.
I could see that.
Let him be a warning to the other guys.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can come back in and have a speech about how people better be there for the right reasons.
Yeah,
so
that had production written all over it.
Yeah, it did. 100%.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on behind the scenes there.
Yeah. Let's get into this Greg moment.
Date though.
Okay, in the opening scenes with Katie, one thing that like I'm not vibing with is her wardrobe. It doesn't seem as though she has great fashion style. And she just allows him to put anything on her. And I'm like, don't put on that plaid jacket. It's hideous and not in the right reasons. Not for the right reasons.
Like
that jacket's there for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. It looked like they took one of Matt James's plaid jackets that he wore, and they're like, well, I guess the Bachelor wore it, so the Bachelorette can wear it too. Like they're doing her dirty. And to go off of Katie's outfits, like that's what we're talking about now. When they have their country western date, and Tasha and Caitlin, when Tasha and Caitlin came out, they had way better outfits than the Bachelorette.
They have personal style.
Yes.
So Caitlin, I was obsessed with that one piece, like 70s style, like super tacky but super cool. Like
she looked great.
Denim, acid wash. Like, yes, I'm feeling it. I mean, Tayshia doesn't have a style that I really enjoy. She just has like a pretty girl style, but
she looked snatched.
Yeah,
exactly.
Those guys were like, "Wait, who am I on a date with?"
Right. Like, wait, which do I get to pick?
Like what we were saying when we were watching it is like if we were like the Bachelorette and then Tayshia was there looking that snatched.
I'm going home.
I'm self-conscious.
I'm like, oh God. I'm like standing there in like that plaid jacket.
I know. Yeah, the plaid jacket.
I don't remember what she was wearing on that particular date.
She had like it was cute. It was just like not as good as the other two outfits.
It was like a little denim dress.
Like denim mini dress and like a cowboy hat.
But it didn't fit very well.
No, but like Tayshia was snatched.
Yeah,
okay.
Like I think Caitlin pulls off like more interesting outfits for like, and that's what I like. I like things that are a little bit more like fun, and that's kind of like I like people experimenting with their style and what they're wearing, and just like when I see what Katie's wearing, I'm like, oh. Except I really liked her green like lame number. Like I would wear it. Like I was into it. I thought that was the best that she's looked so far. That was a yes from me.
Yeah, I didn't hate the dress. I hated the makeup with the dress.
It was
I think
okay.
That ruined it for. I didn't like the green eyeshadow.
They're doing her dirty. Like
I think it's because I don't feel like she wears fake lashes. And I know that like some people don't, but like even for myself, if I'm going out like for a night out, like and I'm dressing up, I'm going out to get my makeup done and I'm going to be wearing fake lashes because it just makes your eyes pop and it just looks so good. So I think that makeup would have worked better if she had longer lashes. It just seemed unbalanced in a way that wasn't as flattering as it could have been. But
I agree.
I think she needs some lashes.
Yeah, like here I am, like a dumb bitch who's never worn fake lashes, and the one time I did, like I cried really bad and it hurt.
I mean, I love fake lashes. I think they just look so good.
I looked amazing, but I cried for like 15 minutes when I first had them put on.
I love.
I actually did. I was like it was miserable. But
I did a product review of
but we're not on TV.
Right, that's the point. You're not on like if you're on TV, you need to have proper makeup.
When I was on TV, I had on fake lashes.
Exactly. I did a product review on the magnetic lashes, and like they're freaking good. Like I was pretty impressed by it. So
Katie,
yeah, we should be like, hey girl, maybe wear some lashes.
She would feel more. I think she would feel more like sexy and hot. Because I'm not gonna lie, whenever I've ever worn fake lashes and I walk down the street, everybody's head just like turning. Like there's something about lashes, maybe because they can see your eyes better and like they're just like more focused onto you. Like there's something about it that draws people in, and people are rubbernecking all the time looking at me with my lashes on. So just saying.
Have you noticed that in previous Bachelorette seasons, the guys are always like, Tayshia's so hot, she's sexy. Yeah. No one's ever said that about Katie.
What did they say about her? Like, I really like how strong she is, how she speaks her mind.
Oh, it's like good. Like, that's what I want to hear. Fine. Like as a woman, like that's what I want. Like I want men to like tell us like our minds are great and not just like
but it is different.
But it's different, especially when she's like, I'm sex positive and I'm the sex bachelorette. Yeah. And then like
no one's like, wow,
she's sexy. She's hot. Like, you know. I think it's because they're not doing her upright, you know?
I think they could make her look really hot, but
she is hot. She is sexy. She looks amazing.
One thing though that I have to say is that I don't enjoy watching her kiss these guys.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh my God. She's a horrible kisser.
At first we're like, is it the cat guy who's the bad kisser? And then we're like, no, it's Katie.
Yeah, because like I saw when she kissed Andrew that like it seemed like he was trying to slow it down and like make it a little more sensual. And she's just like doing her thing that she does, right? So I can't right now.
Here we are, 2 different countries, same motion.
I'm going to go back and watch that, and I'm going to be clipping that, and I'm posting that on my page.
Next viral video.
I mean, you know, I don't know how it feels. It just doesn't look to me as though, like, when I want to kiss somebody, I want to get all the tingles and the feels.
Yes.
And it doesn't seem like it gives the moment for it to get really tingly. It seems kind of rehearsed, or like it doesn't seem like it's really sensual and in the moment. No. It just seems like what we did.
He wants to make out.
It seems like how you kiss before you about to fuck.
Yes,
that's what it seems.
But they're not
like.
there yet, or the kiss when you're like making out when you're like wasted.
Yes,
like, and you've never met the person before, and then you just like walk off or something. You know, like
hi Zachary, it's great to see you.
Hi.
Yeah, no, it was wild though, because like when she was kissing Catman, it was probably the worst one so far of this episode because they both do it. Because like she's like,
and then he does it back,
and then he's like. Like it's like so weird.
Like chicken necking.
Exactly.
I don't understand.
It's like they're high schoolers. It's like they're in high school and they're like, oh, like my parents are out and like we're making out on the couch.
That's what it reminds me
the vibe.
of. Yes, it's like in high school, you're in like 9th grade, and the guy like shoves his tongue down your throat, and that's your first kiss.
That's what every single kiss seemed like.
I know. Well, like, you know, starting out with the one last week with Justin, I was like, whoa, wait, where did that come from? Like, she gets into these super deep kisses that I'm just like, I just don't see the lead up into it for it to be comfortable.
Yes. She jumped up on someone's lap this week. I can't remember who it was.
Oh my God.
Was it Thomas?
I think it was Thomas.
I think it was
I need
Thomas.
to go rewatch the Thomas kiss.
He like hopped up on his lap and was just like, hey there.
It's like, this is a lot.
I think that she's really like shocked by the fact that she gets to make out with somebody so hot. Because he's he's quite a handsome chap, in my opinion. Do you guys know who Josh Murray is?
No.
Oh.
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, you need to do like a Josh Murray, like go watch the season. He was on Andy's season of The Bachelorette.
Okay.
He's been to Bachelor in Paradise, where he was kind of the villain. He had problems with Nick Viall.
This guy?
That guy?
Wait, I can't. It's too small. I can't see it.
That guy?
Yeah. And so on Paradise, he got together with, I can't remember what her name is. She's a single mom. She's really cute. And they dated for a little while after, but then he's in the book for Andy's book because he was such like a narcissist. Like, I don't know. It's like super dramatic. He used to be a football player, and like his brother and him are both softball athletes.
Oh, I did. I watched like the first couple episodes of the Paradise he was on. That guy's a jerk.
Okay.
He's kind of hot though. Anyway, so Nick Viall thinks also that Thomas is like Nick, and so, it's like Josh. So I'm interested to see, because like Nick Viall is probably just jealous because like girls think that Josh is hotter, but you need to do some Josh Murray history fact checks.
All right,
I will. Well, if he's as chaotic as you're saying, then we'll look.
We should maybe buy Andy's book and see what she says, because apparently she has like all the date. Like, Andy's a girl. She was the Bachelorette, and that's the season that Josh was with her. And she wrote a book. She's a lawyer, and she wrote a book about her experience as like, I guess, the Bachelorette, and then like life after with Josh. And so it's supposed to be some sort of like tell-all, and like he says these are not true, and that kind of stuff. So
that's wonderful. I love
it. We'll get it.
Let's start a book club. We should start a book club with all of the Bachelor Nation like former contestants.
I love
that.
I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed.
Me too.
Okay, so we were going to talk about Greg. What was your general feeling about that date?
I mean, I feel like they get along. I feel like they look like they work, you know, like I can see them being in a relationship together. I feel like they connected with their, you know, parental stories. And I think he's going to go far. Mm-hmm. But I'm not really that like wowed by him. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that it was a good date. It was a good date. But it wasn't like, woo. And I was shocked that same with the rest of the guys, about the fact that, like, he got a one-on-one after getting the first impression rose. I'm like, that's a statement. Yes. That's a statement.
That is. Maybe we're going to get a Dale 2.0.
Right? Or wait, no. Didn't Katie got the first impression rose and she, like, never got a one-on-one?
No, that was Abby. That was Abby.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
They look very similar.
Yeah, they do.
I'd say Abigail is, I really wanted her to be the Bachelorette.
I wanted her. So
did we. We really wanted that too.
Yeah.
She would have been a good Bachelorette. Yeah. That still might happen.
It could.
Well, she's going to be on Paradise. We know that for shizzle.
So she'll be fun on Paradise.
She will be fun on Paradise.
Yes, and she'll probably be the person that everybody's trying to date.
I agree.
Yes.
I think so too.
So how'd you feel about the second group date with the Cowboys, and then it just turned into essentially like an Aaron and Cody date with all their drama?
See, I mean, I know that, like, I'm watching this show for the drama, but, like, it just seemed as though it was quite manufactured. I was like, I don't really, like, you guys are fighting? Like, what? Like, oh, like, we're saving Aaron and Cody for this date. Like, even Cody getting the rose last week, like, they missed some editing points where, like, I can understand why there's this beef. I know we got told what happens in this episode, but, like, for this whole fight thing to be happening between the two of them, I was like, I don't really care, like, if they're fighting against each other. And I don't really love those dates anyways. I'm too much of a pacifist. I'm like, I
agree. I hate the wrestling dates.
I know. They're awkward and weird, and I feel bad
so
for
unnecessary.
them. Yeah.
It doesn't need to happen.
I know. It was weird. It was just
Yeah.
I only like those kind of wrestling things on the challenge. You guys watch the challenge?
I have before.
Like, I can only handle it there, but on like a dating show, I don't really need the wrestling. I don't need the girls boxing. Like,
I'm okay with it on Survivor because it's like they know that it's going to happen. Show. Like when you sign up, you're like, yeah, I'm going on a show that's all about like physical stuff. But The Bachelor is not, and like you know that like it's going to happen because it happens every season. But it's still, like, weird. It's like, just let these guys, like, put on their LL Bean clothes and, like, go into an apple orchard. Like, that's what they're supposed to do.
No, and then also them putting this season's Josh on that date. I don't remember what he looked like with his shirt off, but then we learned later that he said that he used to be obese, morbidly obese, he said. And, it was really hard for him to take off his shirt. Like, so, I get some points there because that's a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they always try to do that. They like try to put people into situations where they're just going to be traumatized and make good TV, which is like, we know they're doing it and we usually like it when it happens, which sucks. But then like when it doesn't pan out and it's just like, oh yeah, well, that's how I feel. We're just like, damn, wow, this really is just shitty.
Right. Like they didn't need to corner Mike like that on the sex date.
No, they did not.
I mean, they did. You know that they absolutely had to.
They weren't going to not do that.
Yeah, television, but like as human beings,
and I feel like
to do that.
This is a virgin going on to the Bachelor franchise.
For it.
You know what's going to happen. Like you're not.
You know it's the sex positive Bachelorette too.
Like what did you think was going to happen, girl?
Yeah, no, he had to know that he was going to be exploited, that part of himself. Absolutely. I just wondered, like, with like the poor like obese guy, and it's like, it was really hard for me to take off my shirt. I'm like, oh, like poor guy, but like good for him. Like,
he did it.
The whole story, like, you know, losing weight and then feeling confident enough to take off your shirt. But like, oh, like it just, poor guy. That sucks.
Yeah.
Well, they don't need to do that.
That one's a little mean.
Yeah.
So I didn't really care for that second part of that date. Like, I liked what I liked the best was the girls going in and like wrangling up those men. That was the most fun.
Yeah.
Wake them up.
One thing I wanted to say about Greg's date earlier, someone on Twitter, and like I think a couple people on Twitter were like, this is one of the top 5 best one-on-one dates of all time. I'm like,
I do not understand the standing for Greg.
Like, he's fine.
I'm not standing.
He's just, but you know that most like Hallmark loving like fan people, they want that wholesome guy with the never dyed his hair, you know, like he just like, you know, like just like natural. It's just so wholesome. Like they want that. And so he just looks so wholesome.
Kittens? Whoa.
I don't know. Like, I'm 30. I don't have time for him.
I'm like, I don't have time for this.
He's not, to me, he's not edgy. Like, I like more interesting people. He seems so boring. Like, so boring.
Speaking of edgy, let's get into Chantele's number one top pick guy, Carl.
Carl, wait, it's not my type, but he's my money man.
Like more interesting guys. You can't get more interesting than that.
He's definitely not my type, but I am into like his motivational speaking stuff. I've taken like year-long trainings for like life coaching and stuff like that. So I probably know stuff that he knows, but it seems like he's using this for evil and not for good. You know?
And like, I just want to say, how are you going to watch somebody who says, I'm a motivational speaker, get their 5 minutes alone on a stage on TV, literally do motivational speaking, the thing they do for money, and then go to you later in the day and be like, oh, there's people who aren't here for the right reasons. And it's like,
I don't want to say it right now.
It's you. You're the one.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, wait, are you basically telling her that you're here for the wrong reasons, and like she needs to find out that it's you? Like, that's really what I was thinking as well.
You know the saying, they who smelt it dealt it?
Yeah. Exactly. Don't protest too much.
Yes.
Hi, Sophie. We're talking about our favorite man of the hour, Carl. That's where we're
Carl. Carl. He's definitely
big who smelt it, dealt it energy. Yes. He's like, I'm gonna call them out before they can get me. Like,
someone here doesn't have good intentions. I could tell you who, but I'll give you a chance to say it.
I'm gonna let whoever it is come forward.
Was it?
Oh my god, it was just so, I was mad. Like, I was yelling at my screen. I'm like, thanks for the points, but you're annoying, you suck. Like,
yes.
Like
he's very entertaining, and I would rather be watching Carl's chaos than Greg's mediocrity.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hopefully he won't get a date in a really long time. But then the only problem with that is that he's gonna like need some like reassurance, you know. And I was like, I don't want you to be reassured. Like, he's just too wimpy for me.
Yeah.
Yep. I never liked him from the
beginning. Same with Catman's kind of wimpy. How he asked her if he could kiss her. And I was like,
wimpy.
Not cool. It's not sexy to me to be like in the way that he did it anyways.
Bachelorette.
Just kiss her. So she kisses everyone. Just kiss
right?
her.
Everyone hard.
I'm gonna snip together a montage of her kissing and see if that would be a good viral video.
And then just splice us in between.
Yes.
Apparently you sound like Simon Cowell tonight, Chantele.
I do? Oh my god, that's such a compliment, actually. Because like, I was always on side with Simon Cowell. I always thought he had the right reads on people. I thought he never sugarcoated anything. I was always like team Simon. Like, if Simon thinks you're good, you're good. Like, so thank
right
you.
there with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I was always like, oh, Paula.
Yes.
What do you say?
Honesty.
Yes, exactly. He's British. I love the Brits.
So something that we do on this podcast, similar to what we do on our other podcasts, is we have our superlatives. And one of them is our top love connection. So that can be who's either like your favorite, you're like, this is the one that I love the most. Or it can be like, this is the winner. Like, this person is winning The Bachelor.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be your love connection. And we also do our hot mess express. So what was just the messiest, sloppiest moment of the episode? It could be a person, it could be a place, it could be a thing, a moment, whatever you want. Okay? So let's start off with our top love connection. Hey, that could even be a person, place, thing, whatever you want to.
Yep.
Where are you at right now?
Oh my God. I mean, it's kind of lame. But I'm gonna have to say Mike on that date with his like letter to my future wife.
Yeah.
I think that I do think that it was well received. Obviously, she got emotional about it. I thought it didn't make me feel awkward or embarrassed, or cringe. And so I liked that he was able to have that conversation in front of all these people, in front of, the comedian there from Juicy Scoop. Like the fact that like he was able to do that and it seemed quite sincere and it didn't seem gratuitous at all. It was a nice moment considering the circumstances. So I'm going to give him a love connection check mark there, because that was challenging for him to do.
Fierce. That's a good one.
I think that is a good one.
Yeah.
I did not consider that. I'm not going to lie.
What's yours then? Who do you got?
You go first.
My top love connection of this episode, if I'm just saying this episode, my top love connection was the guy who was ringing the bell.
I love him. If you didn't say him, I would say him.
He was the guy who was ringing the bell during the mud wrestling, where he was like holding up whoever won's arm, the guy with the big beard. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but that guy, he's fierce.
That's my kind of cowboy.
He's fierce.
I mean, did you think that's the same guy that brought in the first impression rose?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
We're obsessed with him. Kendra went mini viral where she had 300 likes on a tweet.
Yeah,
nice.
About that guy. So.
Oh my God! You know what? I'm going to check next to see if any of these guys already have a cameo, because I got to buy one. Like I need Carl has to have a cameo.
Oh, he has to have a cameo.
And I'm going to buy one from him if he does.
I love that.
I guarantee you can tell who's here for the wrong reasons by who's on Cameo.
Yes. And Carl is there already. And he will tell you who wins.
Carl, who wins The Bachelor? He'll just send it to you.
I totally can't wait to search this. This is so exciting.
Oh my God. Who's your love connection?
My love connection for the week, unfortunately, it has to be Greg. I think he's going to win. I don't like him. I'm not a big fan, but I think he is going to win or be in the top, because I think that he really got Katie with the parent thing, the loss of their parents. They're going to vibe on that. I think that she likes that he's so sweet. I think she wants someone who's a little bit innocent and who she can feel like she has power over in some sense. Just feel strong around them when they're a little bit innocent. She can teach them some things. I think she likes that energy. I don't think that she wants a man who feels like he needs to protect her.
I find his sign. I think his sign is super compatible with her.
I
remember
see them together.
Yeah.
But I don't
like sign.
He's a Gemini. But I think, he's a Gemini. Ooh. Ooh.
Who else?
That ain't good for her. I mean, I haven't seen the rest of his chart, because also somebody that wouldn't potentially be that great of a match for her is Blake, who I can't wait till he comes in.
Oh, yes.
He's a Leo, but then all of his other signs are Earth signs. So I think that the boldness she's gonna like from Blake, but then everything else are gonna be probably pretty compatible, because she has a lot of Earth signs in her chart as well. So I haven't seen the rest of Greg's chart. I'll see if I can find it online in the next couple of weeks, just to see how it actually lines up. But Gemini is not great with Capricorn at all.
Good to know.
Like almost bad.
Oh.
Well, in the sense of like, okay, so however I look at these star signs, I look at how they're the elements are actually compatible in the real world. So you know that air and fire are going to go really well together. Hot air rises, fire, you know what I mean? Like they work well together. They're very compatible, and they're both masculine signs. And then you have earth and water signs. So if you think about how earth and water go together, like they can mix really well together. But if you have like earth and you have air, like that's just going to create like a hurricane. Like it just doesn't work very well together. Obviously anybody can get along, anybody can be in a relationship, but just like compatibility wise, it's a lot easier for signs that you actually mesh with.
I feel like when you're in like the Bachelor boiler, you know what I mean? Something like just like initial on paper compatibility is very literally important. The key.
Yes.
You know? So I totally get what you're saying. Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah. So I wonder if it's because like Geminis are usually super flirty, like kind of social, get along with lots of people. And so I'm wondering if that's what she's like being attracted to, you know?
Do that.
It was Mike Johnson, brother from Jake from the State Farm commercial. Jake from State Farm.
I don't get to see these commercials because they're in Canada.
That's right.
I'll send you one.
They're so interesting.
They're
sometimes, you know what though? Maybe that's what I'll do. From now on, I'll watch The Bachelorette on US TV, like live TV. So I'll get the commercials.
Oh, like your VPN or whatever.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I have a link that like you can watch any channel from like of live TV. And so, and I have like my dad's from the States, so I could use his Cox account. As well. But except for Hulu. I'm really annoyed with you. Like I can't get a Hulu account. It's really annoying. I really want to watch the Erica Jane like documentary that comes out on Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. It's out now actually.
Yeah, no, tomorrow.
I put it in my list.
I thought it was the 15th.
It's out now.
Ooh. Okay, well, if you can find it, I need to see that.
Let's get into our next superlative. Let's get into our hot mess. The hottest, sweatiest mess of the episode.
Well, should I go for the obvious or should I go for somebody a little bit different?
Whatever your heart's telling you.
I'm gonna go something different just because we haven't talked about this person that much. My hot mess express goes to Aaron. Aaron, who, like, he doesn't even look like he's, like, a man yet. Like, he looks very young to me. And he looks like he's still kind of he's, like, hazing in, like, you know, like, fraternities and whatever. Like, he just seems very young, in my opinion. And I don't think that it was a good for him to be saying that about Cody. I think it makes him look bad in the end. I'm thinking the reason why they're having this cliffhanger, like, is because Carl and Aaron go home and they just want one more like day of drama with Carl. Like they just want to spread that episode because I think that she's probably going to send him home because like if she's not feeling the vibe with Cody, she definitely should not be feeling the vibe with Carl, who was like having their one-on-one like it was some weird job interview. So like. I think that Aaron is not long for this world. I can see him going on Paradise and going down that whole, you know, circuit. And like how scared he was when she called him to talk to him. He was just like, sorry, what do you mean? What?
Aaron, yeah. Okay, Mom, very good.
Which didn't like his reaction to that. It just seemed like his mom was calling to scold him, and he just didn't seem like somebody that's going to get down on one knee and get married. It just seems like he's here for the party. He wants the long hit.
Imagine Aaron and Carl final two.
That'd be terrifying.
Imagine Aaron and Carl final two.
What universe could that be? Like, it's just such an impossibility.
It's so not final two.
I like it.
Ken, what was your hot mess this week?
My hot mess is related to my love connection.
Great.
It was when what's his name? Greg and Katie were making out on the bucket toilet.
Ew.
Why did they make a bucket toilet on their date in the first place? No one had to go to the bathroom.
It was just to make
What
them
are you
do
doing?
something.
Find something else to do.
I don't know.
There's really nothing to do in the desert, apparently.
Nothing. They can even like braid some weeds together.
They're like, y'all motherfuckers are making a bucket toilet.
Brutal. Like they must have made like a treasure chest, you know? Like
do something different. Fill
Yeah.
the
no, well,
bucket
treasure
with
chest is like
flowers.
basically a bucket toilet, but it's like, you know.
I did not like that.
That was a hot mess.
Thank you.
What was yours?
My hot mess this week it has to do with Carl, and it was at the final cocktail party when he's having his one-on-one moment, and he like goes to like try and do like some bit with her, and he puts handcuffs on himself. Like he's about to handcuff to her as well, but then he gets interrupted. So he's just standing there with handcuffs on just his wrist, and then just has to walk away with handcuffs on just his wrist.
I must have blinked and I missed that moment, but that is amazing. I'm going to be going back to do a rewatch, so I'm ecstatic that I get to like notice
It's
that.
like,
oh, how about we do some of this? And then someone's like, could I cut in?
Thomas.
And Thomas goes, could I cut in? And she's like, yes.
Ooh. Hilarious.
He walks away. It's like, oh.
I'm like,
That's
you are
amazing.
gone.
That is a hot mess for sure. Thank you for sharing that with me because that's a good moment.
That's a good one.
Well, we're at that time in the episode where it is time for us to plug ourselves. So go ahead, Chantele. Let everyone know what they should do to see more of you.
Well, you know, you got all the deets down there, which is awesome. So thank you. You can find me at all those places. And then also to more, if you want us to more comprehensive, as in like the whole episode, like bit by bit, I'm going to be doing a full episode recap tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern on my channel, Realnesss with 3 S's. So I'll be with Tanya. We will be going through our points and our drafts. We're going to see whether or not the Hooju, it was a half Hooju. I don't know if you guys have noticed the Hooju. It's when like the hug jump. It was named by another Bachelor podcast. I can't remember. And so when the girl runs and wraps their legs around the waist of the man, that's called a Hooju. And they do a great ranking system. I'll send you that Instagram name. But it's actually super hilarious. So that's one of the point things. So there was a half Hooju on this one. So I want to see what Tanya thinks if I get some points for the half Hooju. And some other fun points to see if I can like catch up to her, because she has Greg and Catman, and I don't know if I can survive, you know?
You're going to have to like get by just drama.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
it's going to be just drama.
Saving grace. It's like hopefully some of these big blow ups. Who's going to get Blake?
She already got Blake. That was her first pick. I was thinking that Blake was going to be the box. Oh, not going to lie. I have to say that we didn't even talk about this, but
I don't want to be the box,
James
sorry.
Does the dick in the box for his first date. I was like, that's funny.
I thought that was
smart.
Too.
I even I haven't posted them yet, but I did some tarot readings for each of the bachelors, and I even said like, oh, it's James in the box. I started doing like the whole dick in the box song, and so I was like, and you did dick in the box joke. I'm like, people are probably like, oh, what does that mean? I don't get it. And I was like,
oh no, we get it.
I get it.
Yeah, no, I mean like on the show, like the
it was so
I thought it
funny
was
though
smart.
when he was like, I don't want to be known as the box guy anymore. I'm just me. And then he's immediately like, dick in the box.
I'm the box guy.
It worked. But anyways, I forgot about that, and I had to just mention that, you know? So yes, that's what I have coming up. And then on Saturday with Sarah from Nerdtainment, I'm going to be talking about Survivor South Africa episode 3. And then I'm also doing Survivor South Africa episode 3 on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern with Reality Pop. So be on the line a few times this week. A little bit of chitty chats.
Yeah, so much. And Chantele is just fierce. And we're so glad that you were here today.
So glad. You made it wonderful.
Yes.
Well, thanks for having me. It was fun times for sure.
Of course.
Where can we find you?
Here. You can also find me on Instagram at ken.joy.yw and Twitter at ken_joy You can read it.
It's right there.
Yeah.
And hey, you can find me on @alexknowsitall.jpg on Instagram and @alexknowsitall_ on Twitter. We do a Drag Race podcast every Friday at 10:15, same time as this one. We will be covering All Stars, so make sure you come talk to us about that. We will be back next week with a predictions podcast, so come see us next week for a predictions of what's going to go on Drag Race All Stars. Yes, and make sure, of course, as always, you follow us here on Couch Potato Queens, QWNZ. Subscribe, like, do all that stuff because it's super helpful and we love to see it. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you for joining us, Chantele.
Yes, thank you, Chantele.
Yes.
It was wonderful seeing you.
Super fun.
Yes. Bye,